Hey guys, Demi here, and today we are going to be looking at Game Update 32 Nature Revamp. Now, all the clips are from the test server, and of course, when it goes live, you have to understand that some of these things might change, some things might stay the same, depending on, what kind of feedback they get and maybe some minor issues that they have with it. So the first major change you could tell right off the bat is that the trees have been renamed from plant and shapeshifting to Flora and Fauna. In the Flora tree, we see that there are some changes that are made, but the only two changes that I see right now is that the arrowways are no longer there, extending out from the vine lash skill, and the other would be that there is a new icon in replacement of swarm, which is going to be the very last skill on the center of the tree. Also, I do want to mention that the left side is the old side, or the live side right now, and the right side will be the new side where the changes will take place. One of the major themes that they wanted to focus on for this revamp seems to have been the issue with healers damage over time overriding a DPS damage over time, so overriding dots. But with Vine Lash, they did go ahead and make that change so that overwrite will no longer happen. This also applies for Briar. But with Briar, they also did another thing as well. The animation time has been reduced, but the damage was balanced to go along with that new animation. For Impaling Thorns, they just made a minor adjustment to where if it looks like you're going to get hit by the vines, then the damage will register. Thorn Shield has been renamed into Thorn Burst, and again, that same concept of the overwrite won't happen for this one either. The damage over time ticks have been adjusted to where they start ticking once per second instead of the once per 2-second interval. A new skill has been added called Voracious Plants, where it took the place of Swarm, and Swarm was moved over into the Fauna tree. Voracious Plants unleashes man-eating plants on your target, knocking them down and stunning nearby enemies. Also doing damage, of course. So for the healing skill Bloom, if you look on the left side, that's what's on the live server right now, where vines come out from the ground. There's a long cast time before the huge proc goes off, and then it regenerates you with pheromones after that. The changes now made to it is that it looks like the electricity's healing move, where it damages an enemy while healing your party. And also, apparently what it's supposed to do is that it gives a small heal over time for 2 seconds before the large burst heal goes off. And in addition to that, there is now a pushback on the casting time to match the visual effects. So clarifying a little bit more on this pushback effect, the range is very generous on it. It's a very wide open space that you get, and also it affects multiple targets that are nearby. You actually don't even have to be targeted on them for this pushback effect to work, apparently. And during the duration of this skill, the pushback effect will continually happen, meaning that if any of your enemies happen to come closer during the skill, they'll be pushed back again, like you saw that sparring target. This skill just might be a rough placeholder right now and might be cleaned up for the live server, as in they probably want to get rid of those electric bolts on the side. The adjustments that they made to Harvest is that it's no longer interruptible, and they removed the encasement and crushing power interactions. Now, I don't know about the crushing interaction part, but the encasement is still on the test server, so I'm pretty sure when it goes live, they'll go ahead and, make that adjustment so that it doesn't have that encasement anymore. And to note again, the overwrite effect won't happen on this skill either. And lastly, for the Flora tree are the changes made to Chaotic Growth. The Supercharge cost has been reduced from 100% to 50%, and it has gotten a base damage increase, with the added bonus that non-controllable enemies will now be hit for a small amount of damage. Moving on into the Fauna tree, we see that some of the skills have been changed. The icons are a little bit different. Some are moved to different locations on the tree itself. Now, I think the overall theme for this Fauna tree was to get rid of some of the transformations that were not being utilized to its fullest, and to condense some of the transformations so that they only maybe take up one location rather than taking up 2 spaces. That way, it frees up some of the room to maybe give nature a little bit more variety in the skills that they are able to use. I'm going to jump ahead and start talking about the pterosaur form, which has been replaced with Serpent's Call. Now, if you recall, the pterosaur form made you turn into like this pterodactyl, where you had a preset loadout bar and you had the movement of flight. But now they have just completely gotten rid of this pterosaur and gave nature a skill called Serpent's Call, which calls forth, you know, serpents from the ground that wrap around your enemies, and it is an AoE, so it affects multiple targets. The changes made to Carnage is that it no longer gives the flat 115 precision to your group. However, now it is a increased precision by 45% from your character's base precision. Now transformations will be condensed into one skill slot for insect form and wolf form. So for insect form, it didn't have a lunge before, so finally insect form now has an available lunge, again with updated or upgraded combos as well. Probably another critical change for these transformations are that now you are able to utilize the, I guess, increased speed for all of them. For the insect form, it will be obviously increased in flight movement compared to the old insect form where it took you forever to get from one place to the next. And for DPS roll, the wolf form has been adjusted a little bit as well. The combos have changed to incorporate a little bit of brawling as well as some martial arts. And finally, for the wolf form, we have a range attack, as in the past, even if you press 4, it would still kind of be like this combo-ish, lunge-ish thing. Now you have a long range attack you could do for wolf form, so that you could utilize this form a lot better. And as I mentioned just a second ago with insect form, even for wolf form, you'll be able to utilize the super speed to get from one place to the next a lot quicker. This also applies to gorilla form, which is a supercharge. Now gorilla form uses the movement of acrobatics, but if you have purchased the speed boost ability in your native movement, then you are still able to have that increased movement in acrobatics. So I guess, I don't know, skip faster? So I know it's a little bit confusing, but basically what I'm trying to say is that you don't have to be acrobatics in order to get the acrobatic speed boost in gorilla form. You could be any movement that you want. You just have to be slotted and use one of your skill points to have the speed boost in your respective movement. So if you're speedster, then you have the, you know, super speed, and if you're flight, then you have the super flight one that gives you that ability. And that way, if let's say you're super speed and you change over into insect form, that way you have the super flight in insect form. And the last thing to note about this is that if you have purchased any kind of movement attack abilities, you are able to use them in the forms with certain exceptions that you could check on the forums. And last but not least is the changes made to the Supercharge Rampage. So it really was a very short kind of supercharge. It cost 50%, which is, you know, half of an entire bar, but really didn't do so much. So the changes that they made to it was that they gave increased damage and healing for it. So that's about it, guys. That was the overview of the revamp for nature that is coming to the live servers soon. Now, as far as how I feel about it, I just think that, I don't know, they made the necessary changes. I believe more than a revamp, it was honestly just a tweak, it seems. I did like the fact that they gave two. They gave 2 new skills for nature-powered people to use, which is Serpent's Call and Voracious Plants, which both skills I actually quite like. The damage might not be as high, but considering in the video, keep in mind that I was majority of the time in healer role in healer gear. Now imagine if you spec yourself for might or precision as a DPS, then I'm pretty sure those numbers will go up a lot more than what you see on the video. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching and staying in tune with me and my channel. If you have missed the latest DCUO video that I put up, it was for, I believe, Felix, Faust, for the Legends Spotlight, and I'll go ahead and leave that easy link in the middle right here. If you want to stay tuned with what I do with my channel and all the videos as soon as they come out, you could go ahead and subscribe right on top there. You can find me on other forms of social media such as Twitter and Facebook, where I upload or where I tweet that new videos are up, and other forms of social media that I will go ahead and link all of the easy links in the description box below, so that it's just one click away for you guys. Once again, thank you so much, and I will see you guys later. Bye!